So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our video of Moon in the second house as your Atmakaraka. As in what happens when Moon is sitting in the second house as your Atmakaraka, which is a planet with the highest degree in your birth chart. And remember, this Friday on Magha Vedic Astrology Academy, I'm going to be bringing my wristwatch and wealth course. So you're going to be able to see how to manifest the ideal life through wristwatch, something that I discussed back in 2015 on YouTube. I don't know if it was 2015 or 16. I haven't looked. But I'm bringing that now to show you. And of course, who's better to show you than somebody who just loves watches and has loved watches for the last 16 years. More than 16 years now, 18 years. So, Moon as your Atmakaraka, and remember, the Atmakaraka is a planet with the highest degree, closest to the 30 degree point, that shows the unfinished business of the soul that it must burn. So it's not about just finishing up the karma, it needs to be burned. That's what it is. And as always, if you don't know what degree your moon is at or who's your Atmakaraka, you can go to curiousastrology.com here and check out my shop section where you'll see the option 6 with a report, and everything else beyond that would be a reading. So moon is in the second house, right? So here, one thing that is very important for this person is family. You're here to burn the karma with the family. And usually what happens is, if moon is in the second as the Atmakaraka, not as like any other regular planet, you're going to have condition where you want to escape the family politics, the family drama, the family engagements, but you have to be in it because there is some unfinished work that you left in order to be born here with this particular moon as the Atmakaraka. The one thing that you will see with moon as the Atmakaraka in the second house, one will have the responsibility of taking care of the food for somebody in the family. It could even be the mother. Perhaps if you're 20, you may not even realize this. 30, 40, 50, you will realize this. Oh, I'm responsible for getting groceries from my parents, getting groceries and food for my mother. That's the biggest responsibility you will have, is to provide food. And you will see, especially with moon in the second, even if you don't like cooking, when you cook food, and you serve it to someone, not eating yourself, serving it to someone in the family, suddenly, even if you're depressed, you're feeling this melancholy, you're feeling this sadness, it suddenly energizes this fire inside you that bursts open and burns that downward feeling. You will see, like, anytime you will cook and serve someone, not for yourself, you may not feel anything there because you're not paying your karma by cooking the food yourself. Unless Saturn is there with moon, then that becomes your karma. You cannot just get food easily. You have to cook your food. You have to put your work in the food. But here, if it's just, we're looking at moon, it's kind of like serving somebody food re-energizes your entire body. And one of the traits for this particular moon will be focus on the aesthetics of the home. One wants the home to be a certain way. One wants to always keep the home clean. One wants to always want the home to be a certain way. One, naturally here, if the moon is good, you want to have that relationship and connection with the mother like a best friend. And you will see, especially your mother, if Saturn is not there, will have many, many social friends, many, many social circles in her life. Probably before your birth, she would go to many social gatherings and parties. But also, mother's social circle will also change. The people she expected will be there, suddenly leave. People who she expected will never be there for her were there for her. Why? Because we're forgetting the most basic nature of the moon is waxing and waning. So waxing and waning takes place here. As the Atmakaraka moon in the second, your mind will go wavy if you do not have reliable sustenance in your life. This is why whenever I see moon as the Atmakaraka in the second, I will always advise this person, no matter what you do, no matter how much money you're making, save money. The more your saving increase in your bank account, the better your mental stability becomes. And no, I'm sorry, this is not common for everybody that, oh, they have savings, so they're going to be mentally stable. No. Some people, I actually know people, I've known people in my past, don't care for saving money. Money comes, goes, spend here, there. They're happy. They don't care. For them, the concept of saving is kind of like missing. And then I'm like looking at them like, really? You don't care for saving money? What about raining day all the time? I say, yeah, I'm working, I'm skilled. I know I'll always be able to find work. That's the thing. But here with the Atmakaraka moon, because it's like the most focused point, and moon is also cash flow. So you will see your duty of the soul is to feel that balance by accumulating wealth, especially for the family, providing for the family. But at the same time, if that wealth is not there, if you don't have any kind of savings, then you will see these phases of the moon become active. And this is the part that people don't understand. Why am I so moody? Why am I feeling this anxiousness, this depression? Even though they're not into saving money, but they don't realize. Save some form of money in your bank that you don't even touch. And that mental stability will be there. And one of the things that for moon in the second, it's understanding the spouse. There will not be the mental understanding with the spouse. So your karma becomes, as moon as the Atmakaraka, is to serve the marriage, deal with the marriage without ever complaining. But one thing that the spouse will complain about is when it comes to the area of food or when it comes to the area of travel. That's where the obstacles become active with this particular moon. Now, of course, if your moon has Jupiter on one side, Sun on the other side, Mars on the other side, Mercury on the other side, it's going to balance it out to a high extent. But if not, then you will see anytime sudden ups and downs in the marriage that occurs, fights in the marriage will occur, will either happen over travel or food. And especially one of the things for a person in moon in the second house, you don't travel, the saving remedy that I'm telling you starts to deplete. So, and I don't mean travel like, okay, from your home, you're going to your office, which is 20 minutes away. You're going in the morning from your home to Starbucks and coming back to do your remote job. No, that does not count. Whenever moon is involved, you have to travel at least 100 miles or more, which either means one goes on vacation, or if you especially even cross a state border. But when you travel a significant amount of time and spend time there and just come back, you will always find stability in your family, stability in your money, stability in your food. So that means, and I don't mean like, okay, once a year you're traveling. No. At least I would say at minimum twice a month you travel. You want cash flow in your home. You want your money stuck. You want some fluidity in your particular life. Start traveling. Start traveling and start feeding. Not yourself, someone else. And because second house is our family, serve the family. Now you must be thinking, well, I don't have any family. I was an orphan, or let's say I haven't spoken to my family 20 years. Family is not blood family. Family is who you consider family. For some people, especially in the Western world, their college roommates, their friends will become like their family. Like, because that's the only source of that connection they have. you serve them. And especially you will see one of the other big karmas with moon as the Atmakaraka becomes your speech. If moon is in the second house, especially impacted by malefic, you may become either so diplomatic that you will change your speech for someone else and then change it for someone else. Like a politician. Politicians will say, "Oh, I hate this policy." Absolutely not. Once I become this and this, I will get away with this policy. They go to a different state who loves that policy. I'm going to do whatever I can to, uh, you know, retain that policy. You become very dual natured. And this is where you're going to get hit. With moon, you become very wavy. Okay, which, because moon does not want to be enemy with anybody. Moon wants to be friends with everybody. This is why even in Vedic astrology, moon has no enemies. Everybody else thinks moon might be enemy. Mercury might think moon is the enemy. Saturn will think moon is its enemy. Rahu will think moon is its enemy. Moon is like, no, I want everybody. I'm okay with everybody. So it becomes very important, you know, with this particular moon that you kind of appreciate helping out others. You appreciate that travel, that movement. There has to be movement in the second house in order for that fluidness to be there. And especially when moon is in the second, okay, like we were talking about, lying or manipulating things with your speech. If you do that, then it affects your career. You lose that particular luck factor or that support system in your career. So, whenever moon is in the second, don't try to be diplomatic. If you like something, you tell the person who may appreciate you, and you tell the same thing to the person who will not appreciate you. They will respect you more. Because the reason why you've gotten this moon in the second as the Atmakaraka, because in previous life you were becoming very wavy with your speech. And your speech may have costed other people's wealth or food source. And this is why and no matter which planet is your Atmakaraka, it's not there to give you fun and games. It's there to give you a lesson so you can learn that lesson and then you can burn off that lesson. Of course, with Moon and Atmakaraka, one becomes very passionate about either collecting gems or jewelry. For them, having some valuable gems, pearls, jewelry will make them happy because moon is naturally also the source of our comfort and happiness. And if one of the things I will always say with moon in the second, besides feeding other people, you also must treat yourself, especially like on Monday, to a very nice meal. Whether you do it every Monday or every other Monday or once a Monday in a month. Treat yourself to something really, really nice that you feel that is going to be this luxury for you. When you eat food, it gives you that prana. You may not even like that part. You may not even like eating food, but when you go to a nice place and eat, even when you didn't want that, you will just feel kind of like uplifted. But yeah, one of the big things is travel. That becomes that ability to save money, retain money, and keep the flow of money going. Okay. So anyway, guys, this was my analysis of moon in the second house as your Atmakaraka. Remember, this Friday on my academy, the wristwatch course is going to become active. Otherwise, if you need anything from consultation report, check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you and talk to you later. Bye-bye.